Hi, my name is Tori and I have Coach Sallie Guillory here with me today from the women's basketball team, and I'm going to be interviewing her. So, Coach Sallie, when did you start coaching?
I started coaching 13 years ago in Lafayette.
Okay. What made you decide to get into coaching?
I never really thought I was going to be a coach, actually. I graduated from high school, and my little sister was playing basketball in a biddy program, and I just would always go to the practices. And so one time they just asked me if I wanted to help because they knew I played basketball, so I was like, sure. And I started doing that, and then the more I started doing that, then other opportunities started coming, and I just really started enjoying it. And then I was like, well, maybe that's what I'll be, a coach.
Okay. Can you tell me about your career path?
Yes, well, like I just said, I started out just kind of going to watch practices, and they asked me to get in, so I started coaching biddy, 9 and 10-year-olds. Then during the summer, I would coach 11 and 12-year-old AAU, and then I got asked to coach the freshman and JV teams at Turlings Catholic High School, and I was also the assistant varsity coach. And then I did that for 5 years, and then the head coach left to get a job in college, so I took over as head coach at 23 years old. I did that for 2 years. We had a pretty good 2 years. I was coach of the year twice, and won some games, and then I got an opportunity to go be a college coach at McNeese in Lake Charles, and I went there for 3 years, was the recruiting coordinator. And then in April of 2012, we got hired here in Lafayette at UL, and I've been an associate head coach at UL the last 3 years.
Good. So, which level have you enjoyed coaching the most?
I would say probably college. I really enjoy working with the college kids. I think that you can make more of an impact on the college level than high school or middle school, because in high school and middle school, you're just with them 2 hours a day, and then they go home with their families, and you don't really have an opportunity to really impact them. And college, I like the atmosphere, I like the competitiveness, it's high stakes, it's a big business, and I enjoy that part of it.
And what's your favorite part of coaching?
My favorite part of coaching is probably just being able to impact lives and being a part of people's life and watching people grow from when they come in as a freshman, and then each year watch them grow up a little bit more, and really who they become in the process. Not always so much about how many points they score, stuff like that, but my favorite part is probably just watching them grow and being able to say, you know what, I had a small impact on their life, or anything that and also just the relationships part of it while I'm coaching, and then also after, when I'm done coaching, still been able to have relationships with my former players, and when they get married and have children and stuff, I like still being involved in their lives.
Okay, that's your favorite part. So what do you least?
My least part is probably recruiting. I hate recruiting, actually. It's a lot of traveling, and it's a lot of just, you're basically selling yourself to try to get players to come in, and I don't enjoy having to suck up to these coaches and these high school kids just to get them to come and play basketball. I don't enjoy it because a lot of times when you go on recruiting, you have to leave your current team, so you're not there for them, so you recruited them there, and I've always believed that our most important recruits are on campus, yet we leave so much to go recruiting, and it's a lot of headaches.
Okay. What is something that you learned along the way in coaching that you wish you would have learned earlier?
Probably just to not take things so serious, and just as a young coach, I was very, very quick to lose my temper, and just play. I didn't always give players the benefit of the doubt. I would just always jump to conclusions and want to voice my opinion and fix it right then and there. But I've learned as I've gotten older and I've grown up a little bit that sometimes it's good when people make mistakes, and sometimes they can learn better than anything that I can preach to them or yell at them or anything like that. So probably just a little more patience and a little more, grace when people mess up.
Okay. What advice would you give someone who's just getting into coaching?
Advice, I would probably tell someone just to always work hard and be willing to do whatever the job is. When I first started coaching in middle school and high school, I would sweep the floor every day, I would wash the uniforms, I actually drove the bus, I would do whatever it took. And I felt like by working hard, people noticed that and gave me opportunities. And even now, as I've moved up and been promoted and stuff, I try not to think that any job is too small for me. I'm always willing to help someone, whether it's help someone with their homework or, help another coach do some of their work or whatever it is. I always felt like, young coaches should just get their hands in everything.
Okay, and what is some advice that you would give to someone who's looking to advance their coaching career?
Probably very similar to what I just said, working hard, and people will notice your hard work. And also, just be open. A lot of times young coaches come in and they think they know it all, and they really don't. I didn't, I still don't. And I think as I've grown up, I've learned that I need to learn from people, and they need to, pour into me, so I can go and pour into our players and things like that. But probably just being open, number one, open to learning, open. If you're trying to advance your career, and you're a high school coach, you want to be a college coach, you may not get to do that in your hometown or where you're from. I've been very fortunate to do that, but you may have to move to California or Texas or whatever, but it's always worthwhile for an opportunity to grow, advance your career, and then maybe you can always come back home.
Okay, who are some of your mentors in coaching?
I have a few mentors. Probably the one that I talk to the most is Brooke Stower. She's the head coach at Northwestern State in Natchitoches, which is actually a little smaller school than ours, but I've always just, she used to coach at Texas Tech, and we got to be friends then, and I've always just related to her. We have a lot of the same philosophies, and she's about 5 years older than me, so she's kind of walked through the same things that I'm going through, and I always call her for advice or when I'm making decisions, and she always, she's kind of sees the big picture, and she's helped me be more patient, she's helped me be more open. I'm also, Pat Summit was always, obviously I've never met her, I don't get to talk to her often, but just from far away, I always liked how she was and how she cared more about the whole game of basketball than just Tennessee basketball. She always wanted to grow the game, and I thought she was always very classy. She never was, would make rude comments or mean to the media and stuff, but she just had a great respect for the game and respected people, and I always admired that about her.
Affected you in your personal and family life?
It's been hard. My family obviously all lives around here, and I don't get to see them much because I'm always busy, I'm always on the road. I'm not married and I don't have kids yet, so that really hasn't been a problem, but I don't really get a chance to go meet new friends or even hang out with my old friends, so it's hard. A lot of times you're alone when you're traveling on the road or when you're traveling to games and stuff, so it's definitely hard, but my faith has kind of helped me get through that.
You feel like it's worth it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, and what is the biggest challenges for a college coach in today's game?
Probably recruiting. I think that it's just, it's a vicious game that people are cutthroat. They'll do anything to get players, and people who do things the right way and don't cheat, don't do those things, sometimes they get left behind because people are cheating and doing anything they can to get kids, changing kids' transcripts and lying and promising people jobs and money and all these things just to get players. And I think that it's not good for our game. It's not good for what we're trying to teach young people. And it's definitely, it's only getting more and more worse as, 10 years ago there was no social media, so there's no way to contact kids. They had a normal life, you have a normal life. Well, now there's just so many connections with kids, and it's a vicious game, because if you're not doing it, if I'm not going to do this, another coach is, and I'm going to lose that kid. So we have to play the game if we want to stay on top of it.
Cool. Okay, thank you for answering my questions
Thank you.
today.
Thank you.